So what's happening, guys? We're back with another video, and I want to explain this very, very clear in this video. This is what men in general, me myself included, have to understand about women. And life is a learning curve, and it's easy to get caught in your own ways of thinking, in your own perspective. You think it's right. You think it's the only thing that's right, because it's what's right for you, so it should be right for everybody else, right? Not always the case, and it's not that you're wrong or that I'm wrong. It's just when it comes to a woman's perspective, they are very emotional creatures. They are not us. We are not them. So sometimes certain things that happen the way they think, we could undermine it. We could think it's wrong. We could think, their emotions aren't right. You're thinking that and it's not right. You think that, you feel that way, but it's not right. And that is not right, because they feel certain things for a reason, even if we find it stupid, because that's not how we operate. That's not how we think. We typically don't get upset about little things because we don't have time to get upset about little things. As men, we have to get up, get after it. If we're sad, if we're mad, if we're down, if we're depressed, if whatever's going on, we can be perfectly fine. It doesn't matter what the state of mind that we're in. We have to operate, and we don't really share how we feel. We just operate. So women aren't like that. So even the smallest things, bro, women can, not that they do, but they can get emotional over, and we could find that like stupid. Like, get over it. Like, why are you feeling that? You shouldn't. And that's our perspective. That's the way we think. But that is invalidating their emotion and what they're feeling. So as men, we have to do a better job at validating their emotions, even if it's over something small. That's going to go much further than invalidating it, making them feel stupid, making them feel unworthy of feeling feelings. That's the key here, and we have to be there during those times for them, and just, even if it's something small, if it's something big, of course we will be. It's typically a problem. I don't think it's a problem for most men if their woman is dealing with something major. Obviously we will be there. Obviously we will understand their pain. I think it's more so for some of the smaller things that might happen that we might just feel fed up about it. We might, feel that they're coming on to us too much with their emotions and stuff, so we can start to like get a bit fed up with it and kind of shrug it off, like, get over it, or why are you feeling that way? Like, you shouldn't feel that way. Like, that's the thing. But that is invalidating their experience. That's invalidating their emotions and the way they feel, and it's not right for us necessarily to come at it with that approach. So as men, we have to do better in those situations to grow a stronger bond, to make things better, and to have a long-lasting, healthy relationship that's going to thrive. And it's pretty much the only way it's going to happen, because if we continue to be against them for what they feel, then they don't feel that emotional connection towards us, and it's not going to end well. It's not going to be good. It's going to damage the relationship. It's going to make us grow further apart. And that's how it goes, because a lot of people today, and the reason a lot of couples break up so quick is because these things are not addressed. And people get stubborn in their ways. People get stuck in their ways. And they think their way is the right way, but yours ain't. And there's more than one right way. You're allowed to feel emotions. You're allowed to feel a certain way. But you're also allowed to understand that things can be viewed also from a logical standpoint, and it might not be smart to get upset over small things or whatever the case might be. And men are good at doing that. I'm not saying no women are not good at doing that, because some women are, some women aren't. Some women who are very emotional might not be the best at dealing with their emotions when it comes to certain things. They might get more sad, more emotional, more upset when even smaller things happen. But as a man, you have to understand your woman, and you have to understand that you have to validate those emotions that your woman is feeling to make her understand that, yes, correct, you are feeling those feelings, and whatever the case or the situation might be, you have to be there to say it like it is. Not from a logical standpoint, but let her know that from an emotional standpoint that yes, and you can say whatever you need to say to make her feel like her emotions are validated. That's what it's all about. And it's very important. And if you don't do it, it's going to have a negative result every time. It's going to have a negative result every time you choose to be Mr. Logical, because as a man, we are logical. We view things that way, and we also think it's a waste of time to dive into the emotional realm because it doesn't serve us. But it serves women if we can let them know that we understand how they feel and stuff of this nature. Even though we don't, they do. So as men, that is what we have to understand. That's what we have to be better at. And there's far too many women today that do not have that from their man. They don't have that type of support. They don't have that type of love. They don't have that kind of validation. And this is why so many women in the world talk to so many different men to get their needs met, because most cannot get their needs met through one. So they choose a ridiculous amount of different men. Let me pick this nice guy so he can do all these things for me and understands how I feel. But I also want the bad guy because I want to have a good time. And I want this other guy that's rich because I want to go on vacations. And you see women doing this stuff today. And here's the thing. Nobody is perfect in relationships, and relationships that are going to last. It's going to take work, and it's going to take understanding, so people involved can get better. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take two to tango. It's going to take both parties to get better, to adjust to each other. It's going to take growing pains. Things are going to be painful because you're not going to fully have it together until you understand why things go wrong sometimes. And that's also something women have to understand themselves, is that men also exist, and men have needs that need to be met. So women also have to do a better job at understanding a man's needs, what needs to take place, what needs to happen, as well as men doing that for women. And if it's not a relationship, then no stuff does not need to take place. You can be selfish and live in your own reality and your own life, but when it comes to a relationship, these things need to be adjusted. These things need to get settled. People have to get better, and needs have to be met. So this is what a lot of people don't understand today, and it takes a while to understand these things, and especially after being single for such a long time. You're solely going to be focused on yourself, and you're not going to be focused on benefiting another person. But what both men and women both have to understand is that things cannot be one-sided. Things can't be lopsided. It's going to take work from both equally to make things happen. And if things become lopsided, it's probably not going to work out. Things have to be mutual. The benefits have to be mutual. And it comes down to both parties being happy. And if both parties in the relationship are not happy, of course it's not going to work. If one person's happy and the other isn't, it's going to die down at some point. So communication is big. Communicating your needs is big. Making sure your needs are met is pretty big. So those are things that needs to happen. And most men need to understand this about women, because there's so much content today out there, including stuff that I make, which is also important, that saves men's lives. Because there's lots of manipulative stuff going on. There's lots of women using men for their needs, and men get left with nothing. That's a dangerous thing. It happens so many times, it happens so much, and it's a scary thing. So it's like, as a man, you kind of hold back on investing too much because you don't want to get burned. You don't want to get nailed. You don't want to overly do too much because you don't want something bad to happen and get left with nothing. Most men don't even want to get married today because they're afraid that a female is going to change her mind at any given second and take half the stuff. So it's tough goings. It is tough goings today, guys. It's tough. It's tough for everybody, especially for men. It's tough. And I say that because men can lose so much. And women can also take L's. It's just, if you really are serious about this and you look at it from a very real standpoint, it is always men who take far bigger losses in relationships. And women also initiate so many more relationships. And a lot of women have unrealistic expectations of their man, not understanding how hard their man already works and how much he commits already, when she does not fully look at herself all the time to understand that there's not that much being brought to the table on her end. So that's another thing, bro. Things can't be lopsided. Things can't be one-sided. Things have to be talked through in relationships today, and it just seems like it's damn near impossible for majority of people in this modern day and age to be on the same page. It seems like there's always lying going on with majority of men and women you see going on today. Like, people could be in a relationship and they're talking to other people and all this stuff like this, and I just don't get it. Like, why are you in a relationship? You don't have to be. You could be out of a relationship and talk to as many people as you want if that's what you want, but is that really worth a damn? Like, I don't understand how it's so hard for a man and a woman to find compatibility within each other and appreciate that, grow together, create a family, a loving atmosphere, and that is the key to life, guys. That is the key to life, and I don't understand how so many people are getting it wrong. I just don't get it. And nobody's perfect, but communication goes a long way. Going through things, going through hard times in relationships and coming out on the other end on top, it's it's beneficial. It's what's going to have to happen because relationships are going to take a rocky road sometimes, especially ones that are really good, especially ones that are worth a damn. Fighting is going to happen. Things are going to happen. And it's up for you and your partner involved to communicate, to talk things through, to make things better. And, you know, it's very important. So, yeah. Real shit. These are things that need to be talked about more and thought through more, because there's so much content today on red flags and this, red flags and that, avoid this women and avoid that women, and stuff like that can be important, but stuff like this is also important, because if we're just viewing content all the time and we start to get in relationships ourselves, we're always going to be on edge. Like if the other person's just out to get us, if the other person's just going to screw us over and stuff of that nature, and we're just always on edge, just waiting for something to happen, and that is not healthy. It's good to be aware. It's good to be self-aware, but it's also good to not overthink that stuff too much and to let things flow, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and it's going to take a lot of work to make a relationship work, and that is what it is genuinely like. And a lot of people today don't want to do the work. You see a lot of people failing today in love because they don't want to do the work. Things happen, people give up, and that is the outcome. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you genuinely love somebody and there's love there on both ends. Now, if you love somebody and someone doesn't love you, get out of there. Like, you have to cut contact with that person because it's not healthy. But if you love somebody, if somebody loves you, mistakes might happen, things might happen. In the end, it's going to be worth it to resolve things, to make things better. And you just got to hope that you will come out on top of whatever situations you may be dealing with. And fighting for somebody you love is very much so worth it. There's not a lot of love in this world today, so if you got that, you better fucking fight for it, bro, because it is worth it more than anything you could possibly wrap your mind around. And with that being said, we're pretty much going to close out this video. Do not forget, guys, to be mindful about these things. Be mindful about your partner. Be mindful about their needs. Communicate needs back and forth. And try your best to be on the same page, because it's going to help. And it's only going to make things worse if you're not. So these are things to keep in mind. And best of luck to everybody in the situations they may be dealing with. And got to come out on top, bro. With that being said, that is the end of this video. We'll see you guys in the next. God willing, God bless. We'll see y'all at the top.